checking. Okay, time. I think I got it right. All right. Checking. So with that, first and foremost, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders, the sincere apostles and elders of the great millstone, because that's where I learned this truth from. I want to give double honors to all the other elders teaching the same doctrine, which is the doctrine of Yahweh, Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah, giving us that non-stop energy. The water Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash, for another day in camp, another day trying to be diligent, because the Lord said that that's what we were going to do, that he was going to make inquisition against the workers of iniquity, and then also on our people. He's going to search Jerusalem with candlesticks. So we seeing that everything's going down on this place. You seeing that Babylon the Great is through. Esau, Edom is revealed. All the men of the Lord are starting to show that spirit, that nonstop energy going out on these streets preaching the prophecies, as they did with John the Baptist, which he started, which is our elder Abba Bivens, through the Spirit. And so now we're going and continuously preaching this word, as our forefathers have did. And now the Lord is making everything be revealed. So let's get into it. Yeah, and I had a hard day. Everything was stressful. Man, you gotta just make a bunch of phone calls. You know, in the beginning on Esau, Edom, it just pisses you off. So Lord willing, this is a healing stone, so it makes you feel good when you come out here. So the water Ba'Shem Yahushai for another day. So this is Salakia, wrong one. I want Zephaniah. This is Zephaniah chapter 1. Because the Lord he's coming and he's visiting. Oh, Shalom Mashak, Yahweh's messenger, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Barakatah, Shalom King, the water Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. This is I'm gonna start at verse 11. How ye inhabitants of Meshach? This was a place where there was a lot of merchandise in it. It was a commerce city. So and now the modern day is this place of Babylon the Great. This is where where everyone creates their products throughout the United States, and you see now they're howling because look at what's going on. All the things of this economic system is falling. Now you're seeing that there's going to be a lot of supply shortages, all this stuff. So how? It's lucky. It just disappeared. And for all the merchant of the people are cut down, and all they that bear silver are cut down. So now all of that stuff started to not matter. You're seeing that they're trying to put forth a central banking system. And that's talking about back in the day, but we're talking about now the central banking system. So look, so they're howling, they're seeing that, man, this money's really not going to help them. So going into the point, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Yahweh Shai, with his angels, with this word, searching. Because this is how you know if you're a man of the Lord, if you're doing what he has said. He said he's going to go out into the highways and hedges. And so you see in men now, the ones that have been out in the forests, they're starting to have a lot of lessons about depression, about how to fight depression, but no, you know how to fight depression by doing what the Lord says to do and being bold on his word. That's how you fight it. And I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their leaves. So all the people not being that slothful servant, that lukewarm. So the Lord is going to start settling. He's about to start destroying and making examples, saying that they're for the Lord but not doing anything for him, being lukewarm. Shalom, Yahweh, Shalom, Yahweh. Salakia. My bad. I'm just having a bad day. I'm trying to get this, but you know, this is what this word does. That's what the Lord said. I'm going to read this real quick. This is Luke chapter 3, verse 15. I know thy words, that they are neither cold nor hot. I would that you whether cold or hot. You say rather just pick one or the other. Just don't do anything. Stop calling yourself in. Just go and just get destroyed. Because you're not doing what the Lord is saying. You're actually doing the Lord's work deceitfully. So the Lord said he was going to search Jerusalem with candles. So then, because thou art lukewarm, neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. And you understand that bacteria, if it's too cold, then it won't be. And when it's too hot, that takes away all that bacteria. So when you're eating something, and when it's lukewarm, that's when it just starts getting rotted and it starts dying, and that's when you can get sick. That's when bacteria be able to grow. So that's why the Lord's going to spew it out your mouth. You don't want no room temperature. I like room temperatures for water, but you know, like food, you want to either it cold, like a cold meal, like, you know, pasta, you know, what's that? There's some type cold pastas and like ice cream and stuff, and then hot. Everything you mostly eat, especially Jake, we want it cooked all the way. Well, the Lord's going to spew you out of his mouth. Shalom, Gaja Gabar, Yabashim al Shai Brakatah, and Shalom Ashrakah, Yabashim al Shai Brakatah, Shalom. Because thou sayest, I am rich, and increaseth with goods, and have need of nothing, knowing not that thou art wretched, and miserable, and poor, and blind, and naked. So going back into the point, this is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 11 again. How, ye inhabitants of Meshach, for all the merchants of the people are cut down, and all they that bear silver are cut off. So you see, just as I went into yesterday, that yellow company closed down. And it was for 99 years. It was there for a company for 99 years. And now you're going to start seeing these shortages. So you have all this money in the bank that's not going to do anything. So this is why the Lord is searching Jerusalem with candles. And it shall come to pass, pass at that time, that I will search Jerusalem with candles, with the angels in this light, this word, because that's what's cutting people up. Let's grab it. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of the Lord is quick. The word of God is quick and powerful. Word of the God, and this word, which is also Yahushua, is powerful. Sharper than any two-edged sword. So it's so sharp. So you hear these in the scriptures, you say, well, the Lord said that he don't want you to be hot. He don't want you to be lukewarm. He rather you be hot. So that's gonna hit you in the soul like, man, I ain't doing nothing. I'm settled on my lease. It's gonna cut you up and you're gonna be destroyed unless you do what the Lord says. It's powerful and quick, sharper than any two-edged sword, because it's cutting through the soul. It's cutting so deep because you know what you're doing in your mind. So you hear it and you hear this is the word of a divine being. This is what he's telling us, that this is only how you're gonna be right. So that's why when it cuts in your soul. Because you can heal from, if someone cuts off your arm, you're not going to heal that, but like you're going to heal from there, but you won't have an arm. But this one is going to cut in that soul, and you're not even going to, you can't heal from that. Those wounds are not going to, unless you repent and the Lord heals you from it. Piercing to dividing asunder the soul and the spirit. So bam, it's just divided. No, that's how the Lord's searching now. They're hearing this word, and the ones that are in that right spirit saying, oh man, the Lord said I need to be on the highways and hedges. And they're like, dang, I'm going to start doing it. Because that's what the word says. So that's what's going to divide us, and seeing that we're listening to what the Lord is working. Or you're just going to, nope, well, I know that, but I feel better in the forest. I feel better just not doing nothing. So that's what this is what the Lord's doing. Piercing to dividing asunder the soul and the spirit and the marrow, joints and marrows, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So that's how he's searching. Now you know, like, oh, when you hear this word, when you get cut, how is it going to affect you? Are you going to do and then make an apology video and then a month later do the same exact thing by making these false accusations are offending the little ones? Are you going to do that? Because that's what these people are doing. These men that are saying, well, that's how you can know and attend the soul of the heart, the intents of the heart. So if you're going to hear this and, actually get right, we know we fall every day and we come short. But when you hear it, you're like, oh, I got to work on it and keep working on it. Keep doing more and more for the Lord. And that's what's separating it. Discerning the thoughts. Because then, when you're just being openly rebellious or you just put in your thoughts, then you'll start having that mindset that, well, I'm special. And now they know that you have that spirit of pride on you. This is Zephaniah again, chapter 1, verse 12. It shall come to pass, I will search Jerusalem with candles, punish the men settle on their leaves. Just not doing anything. Just I did my work. I did it all. I think the Lord's going to remember. I can just coast by, or I can just not do nothing. But I can listen to just the word and just be slothful. Well, the Lord is going to punish those men that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. And that's like an unbelieving thought. It's like, the Lord, he's just letting us be. The Lord is just gonna he's just gonna make it all right at the end. So I can just do what I want. He's not gonna do no good nor evil. He's just gonna watch us. He's an observer. Because that's what a lot of Edomites say, or people that are atheists. They say that the Lord, if it was a God, he's just observing us. He doesn't want to get and evolve into what. No, he's actually controlling everything you do, making you in that mind and having that mindset. Let's grab that. This is Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. I'm going to start at 23. Divers weights are abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good. So the Lord is he's balancing the whole world. So he has some people that do evil, some people that do not, some people that be that, but he's causing that balance. Man's goings are of the Lord. So you see why Esau, Edom, they saying that he's not going to do neither, the Lord's not going to do neither evil nor good. No, he's actually put in the minds of these wicked people to put worship the serpent, to get that see him, which he's trying to push forth, and causing them to put it out so you can be tempted and be destroyed. Because that's what the Lord said. Man's goings are of the Lord. And he also has other men going out on the highways and hedges preaching this word, telling them, hey man, the Lord is coming. And he's searching out the hearts of men. And he's going to judge righteously to all the ones that are not doing it. But he's putting that spirit on you to do that. So if you have that set on the leaf, the Lord actually did that to you. He have you in that delusional mindset that you think that you're all good, that you don't have to do anything, that you just like, yeah, it's the Lord, and then Yahushua, and then me, and then the angels, and then all the other men. Because that's what kind of mindset you have, and you think you're not going to be doing nothing and be delivered, that you're special. That, no, we all are trying to get our penny, and we got to work and fight for it. And we know what, and Jake, that's the biggest thing Jake does. They hate when you work and you're doing as much as possible, and you have another one not doing nothing. That really, especially Issachar, they hate that. How can a man then understand his own ways? So, like, if you didn't have a thing, like, look at people always say, well, my thought. Well, no, the Lord had to put that thought in your mind through the sleep. So imagine if someone told you didn't know what a tree looked like and they told you to draw it. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't even know where to start. So you have to have that blueprint, and the Lord is putting that program in your mind. I'm going to read it again. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 12. And it shall come to pass in that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their leaves. But say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. So nope, the Lord is about to put a lot of evil on him. A lot of evil on the wicked of these people. That's what he's going to do. And all the ones that are lukewarm and doing nothing, he's going to spill you out of your mouth and he's going to destroy you. Thus said the Lord. Because look at the Lord, that's all he does. This is what he's doing. This is 2nd Ezra. Verse 18, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh. And how you know when that spirit is being super mighty out here preaching the word to all his people? That's when you know that that these prophecies are going. Because how do you know? Let's grab that real quick and we're gonna go back. Because if you're not set on your leaves and you're doing what the Lord told you and you're preaching, then you're going to be out on what's happening in the world. You'll see that these are prophecies that the Lord spoke of as before time. And then you'll see, man, oh, I need to go into that. We got to warn the people, these people that don't have access to YouTube yet because they're older, the older gentlemen or the young kids that they see it on TikTok, but they just need a little push so they can get a YouTube channel. And then they can start getting, because YouTube's about to be shut off. We might have to go on Rumble. But I think when YouTube is off, I think that's going to be the family of the word, because then they just shut all of it off. Because people are just going to move, and they hate the alternative media sites anyway. So continue in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. And he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest the parts of the signs past, which I have told thee before, so that's how you know that the Lord is drawing nigh. He said, measure it. You're supposed to keep up. That's why the Lord said, he said, why do you speak to me in parables? Because it's up to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom. So if you're not doing 144, if you're not doing and listening and being aware and reading this word, eating this book, eating this roll, then you're not going to be able to, then you're going to just be set on your leaves. Let's grab that. This fucking wind is pissing me off. And this is Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy. So if you hear blessing, you hear these words, then you're going to be measuring the time diligently. And that's what it said, blessed, because that's where the kingdom is. The kingdom starts here. It starts in your, the kingdom starts by reading and understanding these prophecies, praying unto the Lord, understanding that he's coming and he's about to make judgment on this earth. He's searching Jerusalem with candles. Keep those things that which are written therein, for the time is at hand. And the Lord is drawing nigh. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 2. And then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he has made. So this is when you start, oh man, they're talking about the RFID, seeing, going in under your skin, being implanted. They're talking about that they're trying to legalize the word. They're trying to say you can't even preach. They're jailing people. Now you're saying that it's going to be perilous times. Now you're seeing judgment everywhere there is. Now you're seeing, now it's, what's it called? Militant sodomites walking around saying if you don't let us go into the girls' bathroom, that we're going to destroy. Now you're seeing pride everywhere around this world. Shalom, Nathan. Yahba Shemiel Shabrakatah. These are the things that the Lord has spoken before. And so you're measuring the times. Let's just grab that real quick, and then we go back to 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, to get back to the point. And Slakia, usually I jot down scriptures that I want to go into for, but I was busy today. So we're just going to try to go through the spirit. The water yard by Shemal Shan. This is Slocking, when was I? Oh yeah, 1 Timothy. Bear with me. Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. In this, know also, Shalom. Also that in the last days perilous times shall come. So are we in the last day? Why? And perilous means dangerous. So if we're measuring the time diligently, and we know that Lord is going to visit this world, and he's searching Jerusalem right now with candles, and seeing that who's set on his lead, who's out there actually measuring the time, who's out there telling the people, listen, and being obedient, who's doing what the prophecy said. He said, blessed is those that read it and do the prophecies. Didn't he say that these men won't be out here preaching on the highways and hedges? Didn't he say that they were going to be on fire too? They're not going to just hide in the forest. They're going to be on the chief place of concourse. But in the last days shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own self. So are we in this? This is the proudest nation. This is the proudest time of anyone. Now everyone thinks that they're God. Well, no, Esau, Edom, none of you guys is gods. But Jake, we are actually the gods. But you're gonna die with the princes of men. But everybody thinks that their opinion matters. Like some biscuit-headed woman can make an Instagram, and then she can start giving advice of stuff she don't even know, have no business of giving advice in. Or someone, just because he's good at video games, now he can tell you how to live your life. But he has blue hair. Or the just because he gives a couple money, which he also writes tax off, and he gives tax rate, and they use it as tax. He's basically doing money laundering for people on public, and people are praising him for it. But we're in that time. Covetous, boasters. See, all this just sounds like a rap album, because this is everything a rap album. Covetous, yeah, that they want money and bitches and all that stuff. Boasters, that they are everything, that they think everything is them. That's what they call him, the goat, or he's him. No, the person that's him is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh. That's why his name is He Is This. Proud, blasphemers. Look at a sodomite blasphemes like every day when they do those freaking, they always go against, like, what's that one in the Dodger Stadium, and then who else they were facing? They literally have a church blaspheming the Lord. That's their whole church. Their whole thing is just to be a fucking degenerate, and that's why that place is not making no more money. The water Yahbashim Al-Shai. Disobedient to parents. So is it monsters now on this earth? Menstruating monsters. Shalom Kalam. Yahbashim Al-Shai. Hope, grace, and mercy. Monsters, menstruating monsters. Let me grab that. I know it's in 2nd Ezra, it's the 5th chapter, but I'm not sure. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 5 verse 8. Then shall be a confusion also in many places. So fighting, the brother put that on the chat today. You see, I didn't even know that they do that. 144 in London, that they literally have swords. The brother was saying that's crazy. Like they're literally like. And it's crazy because it's in London, so it's like medieval times, like thinking they knights or something, have like giant swords fighting and stabbing each other like fucking animals. But a confusing place, and fire shall be sent out again, and wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruating women shall bring forth monsters. These little badass. If you want an example of that, it's just go to Chicago. Like all those young kids that carrying around 12 years old having guns, fighting, killing each other, like doing the most outrageous. Those are monsters. Those are the Lord's created to judge the wicked of our people, and then also to put forth prophecy. Because those are the same little bastards that are going to be robbing Esau, Edom, kicking their doors in. And you won't be able to control them, because those are basically child soldiers. They're bugged out, but they're worse because now they are filled with GMOs. Now they are confused about their sexuality. So if you are what they call a good-looking man, they might even take you. So disobedient, back in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse, continuing in 2, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. So unholy, unthankful. So now that's what that boasting comes in, because now they think that they did everything. That they're even the ones that are disobedient to their spiritual parents, the one disrespecting the apostles and elders. No, but then also this is what the Lord said it was going to bring forth. Unholy, so they just want to be apart. They don't want to be separate and be a different. They just want to be a part of all these other nations, but they don't want to be a part of the Lord. Be separate and holy. Without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those things that are good. So they're pretty much is going to be a bunch of Edomites, because that's the example of what an Edomite is. All those things is just traits of Edomites. And now our people, that's why he said ye of your father the devil. Because now our people are just like that. Well, they're worse, because Jacob got to be the best at everything, and they're the best at being wicked now too. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. So they, instead of, I would worship, but I just like being a flaming sodomite, a flaming person that just takes stuff in the rectum. You see, they love that, and they think that's present. Well, that's a sign of, that's just depravity. But that's what's it called? That's torture. Literally, they used to use that for to destroy us. Now they're openly doing it now. That used to be a disgrace. Why do you think they used to do that in the slavery called butt breaking? Why do you think they used to do that? But now people they're openly doing it. Yeah, no, I just take it. Like fucking. This is what this place has brought. But continuing in. I didn't finish 2 Ezra chapter 9. Therefore, when thou shalt be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people. So now you see that is a rebellion against every people yelling, those Africans, the Hamites, saying to kill the Boer, kill the Edomite. Now you see it in France, and those migrants, they blame it on migrants, but it's Edomites in there causing ruckus too. Over there fighting, destroying that, they had to have a media black eye. Because, they said Macron's going to take down the media, and then all of a sudden you start hearing everything. So that's called a media blackout. So they're still probably rioting and rebelling over there, and they're probably doing some, you already know, once it's time like that, that's when they start using heavy weapons. And then they have to have their controlled opposition that lie for them. But why did you have to put a media blackout on it? Upwards of the people, and it's going around, and it's especially when it hits Babylon the Great, with all these monsters on here and all these freaking despisers of God on this place, it's about to be bad. Because everything is worse in Babylon the Great. Everything is like multiplied. You just see just destruction and depravity here. You see now there's probably more sodomites. There's people that don't like they call them either, because they call them bi and all that stuff, or gender fluidity or whatever. Oh no, you're just a sodomite. That's all you. You are an abomination unto the Lord, and He's going to destroy you. Thus saith the Lord. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spoke of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So the Lord already said that this was going to happen. He already said that all these things were going to be fulfilled, that His voice, His words shall not go out void, that He's going to cause destruction on this place. This is what the Lord said. And He said all these things were going to go on this earth, and then He's going to come. And so that's what the Lord is now. He's searching Jerusalem with candles, and He's seeing who's actually listening and measuring the time diligently. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. So we're seeing that it's appeared. It's here. And it's being seen throughout all the world, throughout all Babylon. This is what's happening. The Wadi al-Bashim al-Shafar even being the Lord, even in 2 Ezra, they said that the ones that were left behind, it was talking about the period of time after Yahushua. But he said the ones that won't be able to see these things, blessed is your eyes. So there's some prophets that died, and we didn't even be able to see the instant. They're going to see it when they're in the chariots, but not be present and be around in that time. So Tawada Yahba Shemal Shai. Shalom, Daniela. Yahba Shemal Shai Brakatan. Even so that this time also the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works. So you see in the beautiful and what the Lord has did, how he created this place. It is magnificent on how he can create such a precise and beautiful planet that pretty much takes care of itself. And create a human body. Do you know the stage of a human body? It heals itself if you give it the right nutrition. It self-learns itself. You can work it and tear the muscles and they come back stronger. That is amazing. The Wadi Yahba Shemal Shai. This is from the Shalom Malaka. Let me grab some of these precepts. They haven't been showing up, huh? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 28. But as concerning the... Let me grab it in this. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 28. But as concerning the things wherein thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is so, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. It has not yet come, but he said, even as the evil so, continue, let me read that again. But as concerning the things wherefore thou askest me, this is Ezra, because he was asking that a lot. He said, Lord, when are we going to be, or why are we in slavery? Why haven't, if it was made for our sins, why haven't we had the kingdom yet? When are we going to get the kingdom? This is what the Ezra was inquiring. I will tell thee, for the evil is so. So the Lord, he put this spirit so it can, because things have to happen through measures of that time. So he had to put forth Esau, Edom. First, they had to lose their birthright, that's all the way back in that time. Well, it already passed, but Salakia. Let's get to the point. Ezra was in about 560 BC in the time of, he was in Babylon, but it was in the Medo-Persian Empire. So the Assyrian Empire already happened. The Babylonian Assyrian Empire already happened. So you see what they were doing. And then now a war and all that stuff happened, and now the Medo-Persians had it. So all that stuff happened, but it's not yet. It still had to have the Greek Empire, and it still had to have that beast to be revealed. But the destruction, therefore, is not yet come. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if thou place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good? Salakia. Oh, I don't know. I'm reading it wrong. I know this, bro. I want to know what's going on. And therefore, that which is sown be not turned upside down. I'm gonna just have to inquire a brother on that because I don't want to break it down wrong. So Salakia. This is going back into 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter. Because sometimes you just want to be sure, because this is a deadly serious thing. So sometimes you break it down wrong, you can cause someone to lead away. So sometimes when something that's not strong for you, so that's why I'm not going to do it. But Lord willing, I'm going to bring a video on it when I inquire it from a brother. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6. Chapter 18, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. So he's going to come nigh. And so when we went through it how we going to know is measuring the time diligently. We're seeing the prophecies that he spoke before time. Even Yahushua in Matthew, the 24th chapter, and all the gospel. Like he said, it was going to be the beginning of sorrows. Jerusalem, earthquakes, uproars of the people, all these things that was going to happen. The water. Yeah, like, I was reading it wrong, and I didn't want to say if I didn't understand it. So the water, Babylon must be destroyed before the kingdom come. Yeah. And that's talking about Babylon the Great, when that time happened. Because in that time when he was writing it, the Babylonian Empire already fell. And he was in the Medo-Persian Empire, Esdras. So that's how you know that it was going to be another Babylon the Great. But continuing in 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 18, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. And we already seen these prophecies. And so now he's searching Jerusalem with candles, seeing who's sitting on this leaf, what we started off with. And we'll begin to make inquisition of them. And what is that? That's an investigation. An investigation for judicial investigation. So he's saying, oh, look at these. Look at what they're doing. Look at what this empire's doing. Look at what my people, the ones that I told they're supposed to be on the highways and hedges, doing. He's investigating everything. He's searching out Jerusalem. He's searching out all these wicked people. It's like, yep. Well, he made them do it, but he's putting it all so he can judge. What they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. So as it happened in Lamentations, the 4th chapter, you see that. Let's just grab it real quick. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 22. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished. So, when we're still in slavery, we're not in that hard chattel slavery. We're still drinking of that cup. We're not drinking, and we have to drink the dregs of it, because it was horrible, that chattel slavery. But it pretty much is, now it's like, we're in captivity, but we still have freedom to be able, because back in that day, you wouldn't be able to be preaching this word. You would be you can't even read. You would be put the deaf on the spot, thinking you're going to go against Esau here. But now we're openly condemning that devil. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. So now we're not going to be going into captivity no more. We all are about to take, even the wicked of our people, after they destroy, we're all going to have the kingdom. We're going to have the fatness of the earth. We're going to have everything on this earth. Everything our heart desires. Women, land, substance. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom, and he will discover thy sin through this investigation. So he knows what you did, and it's all the way up to the heavens. And you're about to be destroyed, Esau, Edom, and all the other nations. You're going straight into slavery. Straight into slavery, and it's going to be a hard 1,000 years for you guys. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. Esau, Edom, that's going to be your best. Those 1,000 years is going to be not as hard as we putting you to death on that day. It probably, I don't know how it's going to happen, but all you Edomites are going to be destroyed. So you better enjoy slavery. And verse 19, and I will begin to make inquisition of them, what they shall be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away. So we're seeing this kingdom, because this world was going to this kingdom, seeing that is faltering, is failing, that everybody's against Babylon the Great. Everyone hates this whore. Everyone hates it. And now you're seeing that BRIC system of how many of those countries are de-dollarization. They're saying, man, we would rather, even Mexico's in that list. They're tired of this shit. And you want to crazy, all the nations that are doing it, all those nations are rich in national resources, like things that you need. I know Venezuela, it's that they use that element to make aluminum. Well, they're rich in that. And you know Mexico's rich in oil. They're rich in a lot of things that America has been raping from them. Well, they're having, especially Africa, especially all the uranium and all that stuff, they're stealing it. All those nations are going to the BRICS because of the fulfilled Bible prophecy to destroy this war. Khan in the GNT. This is it in the GNT, the water in the thun. And the evils about which you have asked me have already been planted, but the time for it harvest has not yet arrived. So yeah, so, you know, sometimes like people, like when you have an apple tree, people think that, oh, you put it in the ground, and they don't have the patience. That's why they kill plants and vegetables. And it takes a special kind, a special husbandman, because that's what we're supposed to be able to plant and wait and nurture that plant properly. And that's what the Lord did. He nurtured of these evil seeds in this place, the starting of the end of this empire. And this evil must be harvested, and the world where it was planted must be removed before the new age where the good to be planted and can appear. So Khan, the water for that, King. So how we're gonna get it is the Lord said, because in the one of the few first prophecies in Genesis, one of the few, it's not the first, but a big major is Esau and Jacob and Esau. Let's grab that in a second, Ezra. And it didn't get set up until now. They had the Roman, but it wasn't. They didn't have the fulfillment or the fullness until now. That beast become what now, so they can set forth that MOTB, the test our people, and to see who was for Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, and then the empire, and then the kingdom will shall come. In the hand of man is betwixt the heel, and if you got like it, how it's read, it's different. But you know, the end of first becomes the hand, and then the heel. That's basically what it means. Other questions, Ezra's answer. So continuing back in 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 20, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. That's what he said, these tokens, these prophecies. When it starts vanishing, now you're seeing it be manifest. Now people, see, back in the time, you told someone in the 1700s, hey, the RFID chip. No, knowledge had to be increased. They had to get that technology. They had to have the man ascend be and have an empire so he can have power so he can implement it. Because what other nation is that demonic that he's going to try to rape the Lord's men? Which is pretty much, and put that sea hip in him. The Lord's woman, he's going to try to make it his. What other nation would have did that way Esau Edom? Even Elam wasn't, and that's why their kingdom was kind of not that bad, but it's still, we were still in captivity. Shall be finished, then will I show these tokens, and the book shall open before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And it had to wait for it to be sealed, because no man could actually unseal it but Yahushua. So the death of Yahushua had to come. That had to come first. And then we had to get the Rakak Wadash. And then we had to have a falling away again. We had to fallen away first. And then the son of perdition had to be revealed. And all this stuff had to happen before we can get it, because we have to learn punishment. We have to learn what a wicked kingdom had for. What could it do? And we have to learn that what we can do to be better servants unto Yahweh Yahushua, and that why we have to follow the law, statutes, commandments. Because when we don't, we die, and we have heathen rule over us. So that's what the Lord brought forth. Let me grab some water. In the year, verse 21, and the children of the year shall speak with their voices, and the women with children shall bring forth untimely children of 3 and 4 years, and they shall live and be risen up. So this is going into, so you know, back in that time, they didn't have technology that premature children can survive. But now we have that kind of technology. Knowledge had to be increased. We had to have the actual what's it called? Let's grab it. He said onto the firmament. I forgot to break that. Let me grab that in that. This is Psalms chapter 19. I didn't know I was even going to this, but this is Psalms chapter 19, verse 1. And the heavens declare the glory of the God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no language nor speech nor language where the voice is not heard. So unto the firmament. So this is talking about the internet. It had to come first. And now you can, no matter what, you can have subtitles. You can know what time of the day. You're going to be able to get this knowledge. Well, that had to come forth too. And then also, he said, let's finish what it said in this. And the years shall see with voices, and women shall bring forth untimely children. 4 months, and they shall live and be risen up. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So all this stuff, so now you're seeing that supply shortages are happening, that all this evilness is coming upon the earth. This is what the Lord said he was going to bring forth. This is what's going to happen. So that's why he said, measure the time diligently. And now we see that it's being manifest. Now we see the end is here. Let's grab this. Ezekiel chapter 7. I'm going to start at 3. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee. So now you're seeing the plagues of the Lord. They're seeing that's why these soul plagues, because he's bringing famine, pestilence, all that, war. He's doing all this stuff of his, and now what is going to end is these thermonuclear destruction that's going to hit forth this place. And I will judge thee according to thy ways. And that's what he said. That's why when we started it off, he was searching Jerusalem with candles. And set it on the people that are set on his ways, or the people that are going on to Esau, Edom's ways. Because this judgment is really, this is why it's called Jacob's trouble. It's a temptation for our people. It's a time for us who's going to get right. Because it doesn't matter what the heathen is going to do. They're going to go into slavery. They already did their evilness, and they couldn't be saved if they wanted to. Even if they're, say this is a lovely Christian, Edom might know he's still going to be destroyed, and no, he's not. And I will recompense upon thee all thy abominations. My eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity. But I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thy abominations shall be in the midst of thee. And ye shall know that I am the Lord. So all the nations, and especially our people, are going to know who is their power. And every knee shall bow. And all this stuff, and he's not going to pity. Well, look what he told us to do. I mean, look what he said he told the angels to do. As we are crying, let's grab that. Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, and through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon them. So he said he was going to search Jerusalem for candles. And he's going to, how? He's going to do it. He's like, oh, well, that's one of mine. Click. That's one of mine. Click. Put in that. I don't know how they're doing it, Put it in your minds. Just a little reference or something. I don't know. But, and put a mark upon their forehead. And that's not the same mark that Esau, Edom is trying to do. It's a spiritual mark. Look into the word. Is it Tawab? I don't know. And of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done. So the ones that are seeing it, saying like, man, it's complete depravity here. It's vexing. It's we can't even, you go to a bar, you gotta literally check their Adam's apple. Because they have such good technology. Well, I don't know how other people do, but I don't know how, but this is what's happening in Babylon the Great. You gotta see if their hands are too big, that might be, that's insanity that you have to actually go through that you can be tricked. Or it's insanity that if you want to discipline your own child because he's a freaking demon, that you can be possibly put in jail. All these things happening. And to the other, he said, of my hearing, go after me after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes smear, neither do you have pity. So that's why we don't have pity. If you're walking, you're still an LGBT person, you're gonna be destroyed. We're not gonna pity. Oh man, Lord, hopefully you get right. Well, we want you to get right, but we're not gonna. If the Lord destroys you, good riddance. Let me finish. And look it said pity. It's like, what about the children? The children. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children. You know, the ones that those simps that think women can't do nothing. Well, they're the most innocent beings. It's all our fault. Nope, he says slay them too. Maids and little children and women, but come not near anyone, the ones that he searched out and put a mark upon their forehead, the ones that are crying and sighing, which that sounds like, oh, you're a crybaby. No, complaining. You know, when you tell someone, man, telling them about themselves or telling them, like, man, you need to get right, they call you a complainer. So you're a negative Nancy. Well, the Lord will give you a mark for that. You're going to be sealed. And but come not near any that have the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. The ones that know who they are, the ones that Shalom Elder, the ones that know there are Israel. So now you see men that have that, now they're starting having dark rings around their eyes. They're starting talking about depression a lot more. So how do you battle depression? No, you battle depression by doing this word. But those ones that are crying and sighing on the highways and hedges, preaching this word. And no one else it doesn't matter if they're a child, a woman, it doesn't matter. That's why the Lord is searching Jerusalem with candles. He's showing and he's giving you an opportunity to get right. And that's why he's going to start at his house. Because imagine if you were in a war type situation. If you're war type and you were given, they kind of know, you know, some of these people that ones that are set on, they kind of know the prophecies. So imagine if someone knew your war plan, you got to take them out first. And they had at time. So Yahweh Shemi Ashai, we're of that number of the ones that have the spiritual mark. Then they began at the ancient men, were before at the house. So it don't matter if you've been preaching for a very long time or you have gray hair. If you're a child, it doesn't matter. If the Lord just have if you don't have that mark, that spiritual mark, he's going to destroy you. So continue it back in as Ezekiel chapter 7. Verse 4 again. And my eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity of thee, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thy abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Thus said the Lord God, and evil, only evil, behold, is come. The end is come. And so now we're here. Now we're seeing the separation. Now we're seeing who's really about the word. Who's really doing what the Lord has commanded. Who's on fire. Who's not on that lukewarm spirit, but is on fire and is preaching it. Because the end is here. We see all the prophecies are going forth, and they're right here at the table. The MOTB can be implemented any day now. They can say, yep, well, that's it. After that summit where it's the signs of the skies, two blood moons, after a summit, they can say, the dollar can just collapse and say, oh, we have something we can help you guys. Just get this MOTB. We can just let's just get that. They can do that right then and there. And bam, bam, what are you gonna do? It has come. Slow here. Behold, it is come. And evil is come, the evil is come, and it watches for thee, behold, it is come. And the morning come upon thee, O that dwelleth in the land, and the time is come, the day of trouble is near, and not the sound again of the mountains. So look what's going to happen. The Lord is going to come, and he's going to destroy all the wicked of our people, all the ones that are settled on this lease, all the ones that are going down to Esau, Edom, all the ones that are on this lukewarm spirit, not working for the Lord. Like, why would you get paid if you didn't work? See, this is why you get fired. So the Lord is about to fire you, but his firing is thermonuclear destruction. That's what's going to happen. Who's hot and not? Shalom Nakawam, Yahweh Shemel Shah Brakatah, Shalom Yahweh, Yahweh Shemel Shah Brakatah, Khan, who's hot and who's not. So that's what's going to happen. You tell them now, because now they start, their lessons don't even have that same spirit they used to do. They're just talking about stuff that doesn't have nothing to do with prophecy. Now they're starting to give rebuke and then doing the same thing they got rebuked right after, offending little ones, not investigating the certain situations. That's what the Lord said. I'm gonna read it. I'll read it again, and then I'm gonna end off. Unless someone got something on the comment board. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 12. And it shall come to pass, at that time, that I will search Jerusalem with candles. These like the angels. This word was just divided in the intents of the heart. They hear these scriptures. And punish the men that are settled on their leaves, that say in their heart that the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. But he's going to do evil. All those ones that he's going to spew out your mouth, you are going to be destroyed. All the ones that are not doing this word and just being lazy, tarrying. I'm going to end off with that. This is Sirach chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put off day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. And we're seeing it, it's here. It's closer than when we believe. It's closer than when you first heard the name of the Lord. Now you know, because you're seeing these MOTB being pushed. Now you know that if you don't do something now, or as this day, start preaching, being on fire, the Lord is going to spit you out and you're going to be destroyed. And you can't take any more tarrying, because these prophecies ain't tarrying. They going day by day, worse and worse and worse. And in that security, if you have a penthouse and you think, like, he's not going to do anything, or you worrying about all the money you got from your congregation, about $180 million. Thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. So that's what's going to happen. Come on, let me grab these. Come, the water. That's what's going to happen. This is Proverbs chapter. Let me grab this. I'm going to grab these precepts. The water, Akim. The water, Malachi. This is from the brother Slakia. Reestablish this comic book. This is from the brother Yehoiada. The prophet is on the scene. I never get it, but there's nothing really happening in this town. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 4. The sluggard will not plow by the reason of cold. They always have an excuse. Say, well, I don't go out to the highways and hedges, or I don't want to work because, I don't want to work because there's already all these men out here. They always have an excuse of why they can't do it. It's like, well, if they don't know now they got to come to me. Or now, everyone should already know. Now we just got to wait. They always got an excuse why they can't do nothing. Therefore, Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing. Because now when that harvest, when he's separating the tares from the wheat, and also the spiritual tares, which is these ones that are in the spirit of Esau, because that's going into the tares and the wheats are going into the Esau and the other people of our nation, and then also the other, Esau, and then our nation, Salakia. But it can also go into the spiritual tares. They're not gonna have nothing. They're not gonna be eat, because the Lord said, "My servant shall eat." This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 10. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any man would not work, neither shall he eat. So how are you going to eat if you're not doing nothing? You just out there sitting, waiting for everyone else to feed you. How are you going to be a man? How are you going to be a man of the Lord? You got to be a man first to be a man of the Lord. And then if you're not doing and working, imagine if you didn't do nothing in Esau either. Well, they do have welfare. They have that stuff. But then how do people treat you? They don't treat you like a man. The Lord is not there's no spiritual welfare in Israel. Well, technically, if you go into the law. But I'm talking about for deliverance. You're going to be destroyed. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 verse 6. For she is the brightness of an everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of God, and the image of his goodness. And being but one, she can do all things. Remaineth in herself, she maketh all things new. This wisdom. In all ages enter into holy souls, she maketh friends of God. This is the wisdom. Because this is what? At first they'll try you in crooked ways. It's going into it, but then what's going to happen? Let's grab that. This is Sirach, and Salaki, my back is starting to hurt. This is Sirach chapter 4, verse 15. Who giveth her ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attend unto her shall dwell in security. For God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. So God loves none, the ones that doing and listening, and wisdom crieth out on the chief concourse. So with that, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Salaki. My back starting to hurt. I'm going to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash, the Wadiyah Ba'ashem Yahshai, and Shalom.